Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. You know, Jack Benny took his vaudeville experience to radio in 1932 and was a huge success. In fact, it would be 18 years of radio before Jack reluctantly put his show in front of the camera. And as for television, Jack really didn't need to make a splash with such a popular radio show. Instead, he slowly waded into the TV pool, sensing that the camera might be some sort of man-eating monster ready to devour his career from overexposure. Well, after 11 long years of slowly but surely transitioning from radio to TV, the Jack Benny program became a staple of weekly television on CBS. And it turned out the camera wasn't the monster Jack had feared. Instead, it was his devoted audience that devoured his comedic gestures, his classic double takes, and his impeccable timing. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. You know who another one of my classic TV crushes was? Oh, she was the crime-fighting partner of John Steed. In the British TV import The Avengers, Steed, played by Patrick Macnee, actually had two other notable partners. They were Kathy Gale and Tara King. But it was Emma Peel, played by Diana Rigg, that won my heart, especially in that black leather outfit. Well, it said the creators wanted to incorporate some man appeal into the show. They literally worked that term into the character's name. Initially, she was Samantha Peel, then Mantha Peel, then M. Peel, and finally Emma Peel. And that, to many, made for the best Avengers combination. After The Avengers, Rigg went to work on Broadway and was nominated for 3 Tony Awards. She also played a Bond girl in Her Majesty's Secret Service. Not only was she a Bond girl, but she was the only ever James Bond movie wife. And I think she was perfectly cast for that role because Diana always had me shaken as well as stirred. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. In a successful run from 1962 to 1967, the World War II drama Combat starred Vic Morrow and Rick Jason. For realism, the producers had the main cast go through actual basic training at Fort Ord, which, by the way, was located right here in the Monterey Bay area. I remember as a kid hearing the explosions from the live fire exercises, which would explain why I'm a little shell-shocked. Well, Combat had the budget to do it right at over $150,000 per episode, and that equates to over $1 million in today's money. But ironically, Vic Morrow literally had to go on strike before the second season just to get decent dressing rooms. And Rick Jason said at times they were lucky just to have a chair on the set. Now that's what I call a little too real realism. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. Route 66 was known for being ahead of its time, and it also influenced some other shows that came later. For example, Run for Your Life, Then Came Bronson, and Moving On. The show touched on many dramatic social issues, but it could also be light and comedic. And there was one such episode named Lizard's Leg and Owlet's Wing. It guest starred Peter Lorre, Lon Chaney Jr., and Boris Karloff. And what was really great was that 2 of the classic Universal monsters made their on-screen return. Yep, in full makeup, Lon Chaney Jr. as the werewolf and Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster. Although it had been decades since they'd worn the costumes, they still pretty much resembled their original characters. And if you watch the episode, especially Boris Karloff. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. In 1952, a show about animals came on called Zoo Parade with host Marlin Perkins. It was sponsored by an insurance company that later went on to sponsor Perkins' project in 1963 about animals in their natural habitat. And that was called Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. The show was a huge success and won 4 Primetime Emmy Awards. And from its original air date into reruns, it ran for 25 straight years. It was also said to be the motivating precursor to popular cable channels such as the Discovery Channel and Animal Planet. And with the chemistry of Marlin Perkins narrating and Jim Fowler in the field, they brought the Wild Kingdom into our living rooms every week. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. In 1964, Rankin and Bass released what would become known as the king of holiday specials. It took them 18 long months to create Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which has aired every year since. And aside from the incredible, at the time, stop-motion puppet animation, the other powerful aspect of the show was the musical soundtrack. All the songs were written by Jewish composer Johnny Marks. But the songwriter's Christmas music genius didn't begin nor end with this special. Johnny originally wrote wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in 1949. But a few years later, he brought the lovable reindeer into the world of rock and roll by writing Chuck Berry's Run, Rudolph, Run. Around that same time, he also wrote Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. So with the likes of Gene Autry, Nat King Cole, Burl Ives, and others all lending their voices to his classic compositions, Johnny Marks has certainly earned his spot in the Songwriters Hall of Fame.